guys, it's Daniel from Valve Tec, and finally, welcome back to a new video. I've returned from the grave, also known as my lack of motivation to make videos, to present to you a pretty underwhelming topic, but hey, I think it's somewhat interesting, and it would make a pretty good piece of content. So today we're going to be talking about the Mad Milk, as it's called, and it's actually a pretty insanely good secondary option for the Scout, as the item both allows you to bring some more team support to the table as far as playing Scout is concerned. You can also assist yourself in more consistently winning gunfights, or at the bare minimum to not burn to death from that stupid, dumbass Pyro that keeps flare spamming you from across the map with his dumbass scorch shot. Now, the Mad Milk, at least in terms of similarities, would fall most in common with the Girardi for the sniper, which has been around a little bit longer than the Mad Milk, only from like about a year, but it is still used by many snipers to this day. The Mad Milk, in fact, actually is an extremely versatile throwable, which can be used in a lot of different situations, and I thought today I would cover some of its varied use in casual play, because actually you can integrate this weapon in a lot of your matches. Now, of course, when equipping this as a secondary, you are sacrificing a reliable backup damage dealer like the pistol, so in all cases, given this weapon is more of a utility than anything, but the trade-off in most cases isn't usually that bad. As I said, the weapon can actually do help you win more fights if used correctly. So, looking at the stat chart, I know it's pretty boring, we're going to try and cover this as fast as possible. We see that extinguishing teammates with the Mad Milk that are caught on fire reduces the recharge time from the base 20 seconds down 20% to only 16, which is actually a good reward. I'm glad that the Girardi and the Mad Milk utilize this, as it incentivizes you for being a team player and rewards you. However, its primary use is when thrown on enemies, and while the Girardi helps with cleaning up enemies quicker by making them susceptible to mini-crit damage, the Mad Milk's debuff actually allows your teammates to heal 60% of the damage done to enemies covered with the milk. This could be extremely useful in actually pretty much any situation where a huge fight is occurring, as that extra health earned back can save plenty of teammates and prevent them from retreating to look for either a health pack or a medic? Oh shit, sorry, I forgot. We were talking about casual TF2. I ignored that last word, my bad. So the final bit on the stat page for this non-milk substance is that you can use the milk to both extinguish yourself and teammates, which we mentioned earlier, which going on with that, please be sure to do that if you can. Sometimes pyros forget they can air blast teammates to extinguish them, so just do your teammates the favor if they're bursting into flames. Just throw some milk on them, just to make them feel better. Plus you get some extra points on the scoreboard if you actually care about that. I know I do, because I'm a pub lord, but now keep in mind a few things with this weapon, because I know you're already thinking you want to just chuck jars of this shit at a sentry, but there is some things the Mad Milk can't do. Number one, it does not work against sentries, so only players, so just don't go throwing yourself at a gun while throwing a little jar of milk at it. It won't work. It won't. Also, afterburn damage dealt upon enemies covered in Mad Milk will not heal your friendly pyro, so that asshole pyro, you know, flare spammer from earlier, you know, the one that got auto bounced on your team, yeah, he can't get health back from you know, abusing a horrible unlock. And lastly, another important thing to note is that the Mad Milk will only heal you to full health, and the player or your teammates cannot be overhealed from this mechanic, as that would be extremely unbalanced, and that trait should really only apply to medic. So basically, don't expect overhealed casual. Regardless, you can use the milk to reveal cloak spies as well, similar to Girardi, so if you need help spotting out some sneaky Frenchmen, you can always throw a jar around the area where you think he is. The Mad Milk has the same unholy range that the Girardi has when you throw it at the ground, so it's got a pretty wide field to work with when you're trying to find those pesky spies. Now, in terms of personal use, it's actually really helpful in your 1v1, or even if you're taking on multiple opponent scenarios. I personally see the Mad Milk as a crutch under the terms of personal deathmatch use, as it can be very helpful if you cannot dodge well as Scout. However, as I said, it can be useful when taking on multiple opponents, as that extra health you can keep getting back actually might make you healthy enough to stay in the fight a little bit longer. The build command set as well kind of incentivizes you to play more conservative, as the shortstop, which is a primary for Scout, has a more tight spread, allowing you to deal more damage without getting close, and the milk of course is used to assist you in deathmatch and team support, but the item still works very well with a lot of the other scatterguns. I would say maybe besides the force of nature in my opinion, but really it's just down to you. Play with each scattergun and see how beneficial a Mad Milk is to your playstyle. I would not consider this weapon to really be situational, as it has a lot of uses, and it seems it fits a lot of different needs, whether it's healing, dealing with fire, deathmatch, or dealing with spies. The item just has a lot of different purposes and roles it can fill, and honestly that's what makes the Mad Milk one of the most powerful items in the Scout's arsenal, simply because it can make the Scout become so much more in terms of team play. It's one of the few secondary options the Scout has that I would argue is worth sacrificing for the pistol, simply due to its many abilities and attributes. So if you're a new Scout coming into the scene, I would highly recommend actually starting with the Mad Milk over the pistol, because if you're not comfortable with the pistol, the Mad Milk at the very least will help you stay alive longer, but it will also help just learning your scattergun a little bit more. Not having to constantly fall back on your pistol will kind of teach you a little bit more discipline when using your scattergun, whether it's aiming or just hitting high damage shots. So I'd recommend go ahead and just go equip it, go try it out, and tell me what you think. Well, that about wraps up my overall review on the Mad Milk. This was a bit of a shorter video, but really the Mad Milk as a whole is a very good weapon, especially in terms of casual. I don't know about competitive. In competitive, it's more just like the pistol and bonk that are used, but my closing thoughts are the weapon is great, besides the fact that it might be a little bit of a crutch, but that's not usually a bad thing. I think actually in any way you can make Scout a little bit easier for newer players is better, because, you know, the game does a horrible job of really teaching you how to play the class, so anything that can kind of help them kind of ease into it a bit more, I'm always all for. So overall, not a bad weapon. I would definitely recommend trying it out sometime, especially if you're new to the Scout. I think it'll really assist you. Other than that, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. I hope to see you soon if I actually upload again. By the way, thank you so much for 300 subscribers. That's honestly crazy. We were just at 200 like last month. It's honestly insane. The growth has been absolutely insane. I cannot thank you guys enough. I honestly do not I did not deserve to hit that, but I still appreciate all the new people coming to my channel regardless. Other than that, guys, thank you and have a good day.